Gross 83 live in Woodstock, and what a week it has been for Gross 83. Most of you have probably heard that I have a very low opinion of Urban Meyer. Well, Urban Meyer just got future endeavored by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I couldn't even be happier. Now let's look at Urban Meyer. Let's just look at his Jacksonville record. We'll get into his stuff at Florida and at Ohio State in another video because I would have to look that information up, but believe me, it is there. Starting, gets hired in January. In February, less than 1 month after being hired, what does he do? He hires Tim Dooley, a disgraced former strength coach at Iowa University, who had allegation after allegation after allegation of racist language, bullying behavior, the kind of stuff you don't want around your football team. So Urban Meyer hires this disgusting pig. So, and then he claims that he didn't know about all these allegations, like a dozen of them. I don't even know how many, a lot. So he gets up, I didn't know about that. We have to be more careful in our vetting system. You have to actually have a vetting system because obviously you had none if you hired this guy. So that's already step one, or misstep number one. And then some of it's going along pretty good for a while. And then I think, in August? He's got the number 1 draft pick, Trevor Lawrence. It's generational talent. Like, nobody's going to even try to argue with that. But I think I might start this Gardner Minshew fellow who is who? You're going to start who? Are you pathetic idiot? To even consider that is just beyond idiotic, okay? Let's be serious. That is just pathetic. And then we got into October where he doesn't want to fly back on the team plane because he wants to see his grandchildren. Yeah, I don't think that woman at that bar rubbing up against him as regent, if you will, I don't think that was his granddaughter. I mean, it would be pretty weird, that would be like super cringe if it was his granddaughter, but I don't think it was. So there's that, and people can, he can do whatever he wants and all this kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Maybe he can, if he wants to get a lap dance from a woman half his age. But to, number 1, not fly back with your team, and number 2, say, oh, my grandchildren, when you know damn well he probably don't give 2 craps about your grandchildren, or obviously you don't respect your wife. So, and then there's 2 of the most recent incidents. I forgot what. Was it Tennessee? It was Tennessee when they got shut out by Tennessee this past Sunday, I think, a week ago. He gets shut out by Tennessee. who's not that great. Like Tennessee is not a Super Bowl contender by any means. And this guy does this. I don't even know. He can't even look the other coach in the eye. He just does this ridiculous. Was it a handshake? I don't know what it was. It was pretty classless, but classless is Urban Meyer's middle name. So, what, that's to be expected. And then after that, we learned that back in August, this Urban Meyer, this disgusting pile of crap, we learned that he kicked his kicker pretty hard. And yes, I know it's allegedly, but come on. Can we look at Urban Meyer's track record so far and we can say, oh, he didn't do it? Oh, he did it. Don't kid yourself. He did it because he thinks he's better than everybody around him. So he did it. And what is he doing? I think he benched his best running back. Well, I don't know what that was about, but yeah, probably his best player besides Trevor Lawrence. So he benched him for, I don't know, whatever it was, half a game or a whole game. I'm not sure what the facts are about that, but your best player, your two best players, well, he didn't bench Trevor Lawrence, but he was going to start this Gardner, Basil Garden, whatever his name is. Who gives a crap? He's nothing. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's probably better than Urban Meyer, if anything. And then he says to the coaches that he hired these guys. He's calling them losers and all this kind of thing. Dude, you hired them. And why did I just throw my picks over there again? But you hire these guys, so if they're losers, you're a loser. But they're winners. I don't know if they're winners or not, but they're better than you, buddy. I can tell you that right now. Now, ready? Now let's look at the number 2 thing. There were a few things that happened this week. Number 2, last week, all my picks hit it. Boom, boom, boom. Hit the mark. Made it all 3, which I didn't make a picks video. So today I'm going to make one, which I think will be in this video. There's a pause button on here. So I can pause it and then start over, I guess. We'll find out what happens in a minute. But all 3 picks hit the mark. And then, are you ready for this? In 2018, in 2016 to 2018, I had the disabled free bus pass because I'm autistic. I don't have autism. I am autistic. When people say someone has autism, that implies that you can get rid of it or want to get rid of it. Well, there are days when I do, but most of the time I'm very happy. I do very well. There are struggles. Autistic people have a lot more struggles than me, so I do feel very lucky. But that is a legitimate disability that prevents me from being as successful as somebody. It prevents me from being successful in some areas, but it helps me excel in other areas, okay? I don't even know if I should say this, because then all these do-gooders are going to be like, oh, this autistic guy can actually press record and whatever. Because, like, literally, if an autistic person does anything, these neurotypicals start doing backflips all over the place, which is actually insulting, in my opinion, because it implies that they're shocked that an autistic person can do a thing when we can do a lot of things. And I mean a lot. But that's neither here nor there. So that is a legitimate disability, though. So 2016 to 2018, I have this free bus pass, which was actually the reason I wanted to move back to the city, that I could really see the city with this bus pass. And that really helps me a lot, because I have very high driving anxiety. I honestly don't even drive into the next town. If it's not in Woodstock, forget it. Like, there's a Target in the next town. I love Target, but I'm not driving there. I literally can't. That's not a joke either. I just stay in town, which is strange, because this town literally has some of the worst drivers I've ever seen in my life. So I guess there's a bit of irony. I only drive in the town with the worst drivers I've ever seen, but that's what it is. So in 2000, I applied for the bus pass again, 2018. And this woman on the phone had the unmitigated gall to tell me to my face, well, not really to my face, that, oh, you're not disabled enough, or that's not a permanent disability, whatever she said. And I laid low on it for a while. I'm like, okay, maybe I won't be going to the city that much, because I'm out here in wonderful Woodstock now, which I like. I've got my cats. I don't know where Buckley went. Bardot is upstairs. Buckley is running around here somewhere. But I'm like, okay, I'm in Woodstock. I'm probably going to, because there's a lot of lakes and ponds and creeks around here. So I'll probably be more into fishing than going to the city. Well, as some of you may know, I have an infection called osteomyelitis. And that is a bone disorder that actually is the reason I had a double hip replacement. So, and sometimes it's been known to get into my left arm. Well, it got into my right arm this past summer, so I laid off on any fishing and stuff because it was very painful. So I saw the therapist, I did therapy, I did all this stuff. And the doctor said, okay, you know what, you're good to go. So I'm like, okay. I lined up my fishing pole, I did all this. I'm like, I'm going to go fishing. So I go out there for whatever, it was a few hours. You know, I'm casting, I'm doing this kind of thing. My arm was so, just after that one day of fishing, my arm was about to go back to almost where it started from. So fishing, honestly, that's out. That is totally, looks like it's not even an option for me anymore. And I know my brother Ivan said cast sidearm, which I think I actually had been doing the whole time, honestly. But yeah, I was actually more of a sidearm caster, but that unfortunately didn't help me. So now I've got this big hole because I have a decent amount of free time, you know, and I like to, of course, I want to apologize to the wolf, wolf. And I know you're watching, pal, and that's cool, man, because you know you want to be like me, obviously. But I have to apologize that I do better at working my whatever it is 25 hours a week. I'm more successful than you when you're working your 80, 90, whatever it is, 80 hours a week that you're always babbling about. I apologize that I'm better than you, buddy. Okay? That's fine. You know, whatever. I don't even hold a grudge against you. You're making all these comments on my videos, blah blah blah. Okay, buddy. That whatever you say is basically you admitting that you wish you were me, pal. Okay? Just admit it. I'm better than you, and you know it. I stole that quote from MJF, but it applies here. And I don't say that about a lot of people. Like, I'm not going to walk up to the guy at 7-Eleven and be like, hey, buddy, I'm better than you, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's not my style. But this guy is all getting all over Discord and calling me all kinds of names, and I'm a bully, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm the other thing. So, in this case, I will say it. Duh, Wolf, or Jonathan Stubert. Yes, I know your name, pal. Okay? I know your name. But all you have to do is make a video and admit, duh, Wolf, that Gross 83 is better than you. And that is what I'm going to say about that, because I am in a good mood. But anyways, back to this bus pass. So this lady's like, oh, you're not disabled, blah, blah, blah. So I let it lay low. And I'm like, man, I really miss going to the city. I miss living in the city for a lot of reasons. I don't miss the commute was like an absolute living hell. I'm not going to lie. I should have probably given that more thought. And, you know, Z, probably after the first like 2 days, I'm sure Z was like sick of driving me back and forth from the train station, and I should have thought of her more. But there's a lot. What I miss about the city that you don't have here, you can walk anywhere. Like around here, you can't walk certain areas because there's no sidewalk. And that's very dangerous. And it's not even about the city. Like I can take the train to the next station and traipse around downtown Crystal Lake or Cary or wherever the case may be. And I can do a lot. I can get out more because I just don't drive. I don't like it. I can't stand it. It's terrifying. So that is going to help me in so many ways. And I guess I kind of skipped over the part where I successfully, and I say earned, because they make you go through a bunch of hoops, believe me. So I earned that pass, and it should be coming in the mail very soon, hopefully tomorrow. And you are going to get more content, more content, better content. And what's going to happen is I see that this Melky fellow is back on YouTube, and he's already screaming and yelling like a stupid moron, and that's fine. People like Trainwreck, so they want to see him make an idiot out of himself. But I will guarantee you one thing: if you are watching this, that my content will never be screaming and yelling. No way. Absolutely not. But it will be better content than Woodstone. I guarantee it. So if you like watching Melky and you like watching me, that's fine. But I am very confident that after a while, you will unsubscribe from Melky's idiotic ranting and screaming, whatever he does, and you will go to my channel. I am confident in that. But now, I've been going on here for 20 minutes. I'm going to pause this. I hope I can pause it while it's recording. I don't know. But I've got to pause this because I've got to get something here. Oh, we are back on, and we've got the picks. Hope that didn't just show my address. Oh, so what if it did? We've got the picks. Are you ready for the picks? You are ready for the picks. This week we've got 3 games that I picked. Game number 1, you can't really see them. It's all backward. Game number 1, I've got to put that down. I don't want people to zoom in and see my address and send me dead animals or whatever people might do. That's gross. Anyways, we've got the picks here. Game number 1, we've got Tampa Bay. They are giving 11 on the hook versus the Saints. That's a pretty big number, but I think the Tampa Bay is pretty hot right now, so that's one I'm going with. And here's one that I am picking, and I am so excited about, and I am picking it because they canned that worthless, miserable disgrace of a human being, Urban Meyer. Yes, I am picking the Jacksonville Jaguars -4.5 versus the Texans, who are pretty terrible. And we've got a special visitor here, Buckley. You can see Buckley's up here. There he goes. Good boy. What are you up to? Yes, I am picking the Jags because I think they are going to win. Plus, Texas isn't that great either. So I'm excited to pick Coach Darrell Bevell, who took over as interim coach for the pathetic loser. And I think Darrell Bevell is going to lead the team to victory. I think he's a fine coach. So that game I am very excited about. Let's go Jags. Let's go Jags. Woo! Game number 3. And for this game, I didn't want to do it. Well, I kind of did because I do. I like the Panthers. So, and I don't trust Buffalo anymore. I just can't trust them. So, I've got Panthers getting 13, plus 13, versus the Bills. I don't trust Buffalo to win by 2 touchdowns. I don't know what's going on with them, but I don't trust them anymore. And I like Josh Allen a lot, but something isn't right there. So I couldn't resist getting the 13 points. So I'm going with the Panthers for that one. And before we leave you today, I know this is one of my longer ones, but I'm very excited. I'm in a good mood. Last night, we had dinner at this wonderful restaurant in the town of Crystal Lake, Illinois. This place is called 1776. It is a farm-to-table restaurant. It is a completely gluten-free kitchen, and it was just absolutely delicious. I had an appetizer of crispy, I think it was crispy ahi tuna, which is I don't know if it's completely raw or it might be seared a little bit, like 30 seconds on each side. It was absolutely delicious. And Z had this appetizer of all these like exotic cheese, like goat cheese and all these exotic cheeses, and I had a little of that, and that was absolutely incredible. And for a meal, I had this, it was basically like lox and bagels, but it was on flatbread, and that was just so delicious. I mean, I give this a 10 out of 10, absolutely. And they can be expensive there,